Greetings everyone, Nayrman here, finally with my little response to the Q&A session I asked. I realize I don't have the subscriber count for something like this, but I'd give it a try anyway. Let's start right off. Cool, a Q&A. By the way, where do you get the remix? I want to download it. I forget the user who remixed this. I honestly can't remember who it was such a long time ago. Basically just search Dark Gaia mix endless possibilities, and you should be able to come across it. If all those fails, I can put it up on Mega Upload for you. What is your favorite TV show? Depends on my mood. It's either Cowboy Bebop or Fooly Cooly. I could watch those pretty much forever. Can you speak any other languages? Hablo un poco de español. Favorite subject in school? Does the ride home count? Next question. Do you think you'll ever do a rant video? Because that would be funny as hell. I assume you mean as hell. There are plenty of people doing rant videos. My rant is basically everyone's mild. I'll probably do a few since I won't be able to do gaming as much in the fall. But I'll do a couple, not anything serious. Next question. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? The answer is, of course, Chuck Norris, as there is no amount of chucking greater than Chuck Norris. I had to say that pretty quickly. What is your opinion on the Dragon Ball series? It's a classic. What more can you say about Dragon Ball? Obviously, it got worse as it went on, but then again, that's the staple of pretty much every Shonen Jump series, so... Yup, instant classic. Every anime fan should at least watch some of it. Let's see. What has been your favorite movie so far? And what is your favorite game? That really depends on my mood, dude. There really is no one singular movie or game that I like more than anything else. So that's pretty much an impossible question to really answer. It just depends on my mood at the time. The staff page is coming back. When did I miss this? It's coming back soon, and I will be writing for it just like last time. I believe it's supposed to be up early next week. Then again, you know how things on the site go, so I'm not really sure. Alright, time for a few actual questions this time. What made you decide to start making videos on YouTube? Originally, I just kind of watched it for the same thing everyone did, these somewhat higher end user quality videos. But when I saw guys like Big Al, Darkness, etc., just, basically at the time sitting in front of a webcam and saying their opinions on stuff, I thought if they could do it, why the hell not me? Besides, I wanted to learn basic editing and so on and so forth, basically kind of on my own. It gives me, much more insight as to how long editing and such actually takes. What is one thing you'll never ever be able to do, but you'd absolutely love to do if you could? Two things. I actually have two things. First would be hit the walk-off home run in Game 7 of the World Series for the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. Haha, I am not the best baseball player by any means. In fact, I was the worst hitter on my team in Little League, so that shows you how far I would have gotten. And number two, I would go back before Lucas started fucking around with every single one of his series and stop him from doing so. And I would actually write the scripts for episodes 1, 2, and 3 and make them actually good. Do you consider yourself a nerd? What was the first game you ever played? Who is your favorite YouTube user? That's a tough one because I don't want to get anyone angry. As far as videos I enjoy the most on a consistent basis, I guess it would be AceSpark. Mostly because he's the only one of the few people I know who can actually talk by themselves through an entire playthrough and still make it interesting. Besides, we both of us almost have a masochistic love for Mega Man games. Let's see. Next question. If you could only play one game for the rest of your life, what would it be? Ooh, that's a tough one. Again, it really depends on my mood, but I would suppose I would choose something like Smash Bros. Melee or Brawl, mostly because even if I was stuck only playing the computers for the rest of time, it would still at least have infinite replay value compared to other ones like, Mario, where you would run out of things to do pretty quickly on that. And finally, what do you think of Disney lately? Ooh, I smell the precursor to one of my rant videos. Let's see, what are my thoughts on Disney? They're not good. First off, they're making music out of people who aren't musicians, frankly, and they're making High School Musical, so nothing good can come from that. And as far as I'm concerned, they're not an animation company anymore. They don't make animation anymore. They don't do cartoons. And frankly, a lot of the stuff, even when I was a kid, you look back and realize how it's not that good. Oh sure, the Disney afternoon cartoons were pretty good. But if you look back at the so-called Renaissance movies, and for those of you, that's basically from around the time of Little Mermaid, very late 80s, early 90s on. This is basically the time period where they sort of got back into making animated movies. But if you look back at the movies, you really notice that a lot of them are really just the same thing over and over and over again. And yes, some of them are good. I will admit that. And Disney is very good at what they do. Make extremely family-friendly, safe movies for basically the very youngins. And no, I am not considering Pixar along with Disney. They are a talented CG animation company that is unfortunately shackled to the heartless Disney Corporation. Kudos if you get the joke. But basically, yeah, it's not good. I know fanboys that they are making a new animated movie, but let's be honest here. We all know it's just another ripoff of Little Mermaid, desperately trying to capture the magic that started the so-called Renaissance in the first place. Besides, playing the race controversy card is pretty much the lowest common denominator to get attention for your movie. Smooth move, Disney. The other thing I have to say is that they never challenge anyone. Everything's has to be super uber kid friendly to not piss off anyone. And since that everything has to be, even in Pixar's movies, nothing ever gets pushed. Animation and nothing in filmmaking ever gets pushed. At least not since Walt Disney's untimely death in the 60s. You really can't say they've really pushed the medium or anything at all. And I blame Disney. Let's just get this out of the way. I blame Disney for why you can't make a Cowboy Bebop or Ghost in the Shell in this country, for making everyone think that, animation is only for kids and has to be safe and friendly. Now, I know there's plenty of blame to go along with that regard, but frankly, I blame Disney. But that will all change soon when I eventually go to film school, and whatever details that entails in having to go to, and learn how to properly make films and get into the industry myself. I will make my masterpiece in animated form, and I will open the eyes of the nation, open them to the possibilities of animation, not just a kid's medium, but something that can actually be useful in a true form of art, something that truly will make the movie industry something unique and fresh again compared to the crap that's filling it up now. Behold, in the next few years when I actually do something like this, I don't know when, but it will happen in the moderately near future.
Row, row, fight the power! Row, row, fight the power!